Hi everyone, this is part 2 of The Living World. Part 1 is already uploaded. If you have not watched part 1, please watch. Today we have start from taxonomy categories. Classification is not a single step process but involves hierarchy of steps in which each step represents a rank or category. Since the category is a part of overall taxonomic arrangement, it is called the taxonomic category and all the categories together constituent the taxonomic hierarchy. Each category refers to as a unit of classification, in fact represents a rank and is commonly termed as taxon. Taxonomic categories and hierarchy can be illustrated by an example. Insects represent a group of organisms sharing common features like three pairs of jointed legs. It means insects are recognizable constraint objects which can be classified and thus we are given or a rank or category. Can you name other such groups of organisms? Remember, groups represent category. Category further denotes rank. Each rank or taxon, in fact, represents a unit of classification. These taxonomic groups or categories are distinct biological entities and not merely morphological aggregates. Taxonomical studies of all known organisms have led to the development of common categories such as kingdom, phylum or division for plants, class, order, family, genus, and species. All organisms, including those in the plant and animals kingdoms, have species as the lowest category. Now, the question you may ask is how to place an organism in various categories. The basic requirement is the knowledgeable of categories characters of an individual or group of organisms. This helps in identifying similarities and dissimilarities among the individuals of the same kind of organisms as well as of other kinds of organisms. 1.3.1 Species. Taxonomic studies consider a group of individual organisms with fundamental similarities as a species. One should be able to distinguish one species from the other closely related species based on the distinct morphological differences. Let us consider Mangifera indica, Solanum tuberosum potato, and Panthera leo lion. All the three names indica, tuberosum, and leo represent the specific epithets, while the first word Mangifera, Solanum, and Panthera or genera are and represent another higher level of taxon or category. Each genus may have one or more than morphological similarities. Each genus may have one or more than one specific epithets representing different organisms but having morphological similarities. For example, Panthera has another specific epithet called tigress, and Solanum includes species like Nigrum and Melongina. Human beings belong to the species Sapiens, which is grouped in the genus Homo. The scientific name thus for human beings is written as Homo sapiens. 1.3.2 Genus. Genus comprises a group of related species which has more characters in common in comparison to species of other genera. We can say that genera are aggregates of closely related species. For example, potato and brinjal are two different species but both belong to the genus Solanum, lion, Panthera leo, leopard, Pantherum pagus, and tiger, Panthera tigris, with several common features, are all species of the genus Panthera. This genus differs from another genus, Felis, which includes cats family. The next category, family, has a group of related genera with still less number of similarities as compared to genus and species. Families are characterized on the basis of both vegetative and reproductive features of plant species. Among plants, for example, three different genera, Solanum, Petunia, and Datura, are placed in the family Solanaceae. Among animals, for example, genus Panthera, comprising lion, tiger, leopard, is put along with genus Felis, cats, in the family Felidae. Similarly, if you observe the features of a cat and a dog, you will find some similarities and some differences as well. They are separated into two different families, Felidae and Canidae, respectively. Order. You have seen earlier that categories like species, genus, and families are based on a number of similar characters. Generally, order and other higher taxonomic categories are identified on the basis based on the aggregates of characters. Order, being a higher category, is the assemblage of families which exhibit a few similar characters. The similar characters are less in number as compared to different genera included in a family. Plant families like Convolvulaceae, Solanaceae are included in the order Polymoliaceae mainly based on the floral characters. The animal order Carnivoria includes families like Felidae and Canidae. Class. This category includes related orders, for example, order Primatia, comprising monkey, gorilla, and gibbon, is placed in class Mammalia, along with order Carnivora, that includes animals like tiger, cat, and dog. Class Mammalia has other order also. Phylum. Classes comprising animals like fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, along with mammals constitute the next higher categories called a phylum. All these based on the common features like presence of notochord and dorsal hollow neutral system are included in phylum Chordata. In case of plants, classes with a few similar characters are assigned to a higher category called a division. 1.3.7 Kingdom. All animals belonging to various phyla are assigned to the highest category called kingdom Animalia in the classification system of animals. The kingdom Plantae, on the other hand, is distinct and comprises all plants from various divisions. Henceforth, we will refer to these two groups as animals and plant kingdoms. The taxonomic categories from species to kingdom have been shown in ascending order starting with species in figure 1.1. These are broad categories. However, taxonomists have also developed subcategories in this hierarchy to facilitate more sound and scientific placement of various taxa. Look at the hierarchy in figure 1.1. Can you recall the basis of arrangement? Say, for example, as we go higher from species to kingdom, the number of common characteristics goes on decreasing. Lower the taxa, more the characters that the members within the taxon share. Higher the category, greater is the difficulty of determining the relationship to other taxa at the same level. Hence, the problem of classification becomes more complex. Table 1.1 indicates the taxonomic categories to which some common organisms like housefly, man, mango, and wheat belong. 1.4 Taxonomical aids. Taxonomic studies of various species of plants, animals, and other organisms are useful in agriculture, forestry, industry, and in general in knowing our bioresources and their diversity. These studies would require correct classification and identification of organisms. Identification of organisms require intensive laboratory and field studies. The collection of actual specimen of plants and animal species is essential and is the prime source of taxonomic studies. These are also fundamental to studies and essential for training in systematics. It is used for classification of an organism, and the information gathered is also stored along with the specimen. In some cases, the specimen is preserved for further studies. Biologists have established certain procedures and techniques to restore and preserve the information as well as the specimen. Some of these are preserved, some of these are explained to help you understand the usage of these aids. 1.4.1 Herbarium. Herbarium is a storehouse of collected plant specimens that are dried, pressed, and preserved on sheets. Further, these sheets are arranged according to the universally accepted system of classification. These specimens, along with their descriptions on herbarium sheet, become a storehouse or repository for future use. The herbarium sheets also carry a label providing information about date and place of collection, English, local and botanical name, family, collector's name, etc. Herbaria also serve a quick referral system in taxonomical studies. 1.4.2 Botanical Gardens. These specialized gardens have collections of living plants for reference. Plant species in these gardens are grown for identification purposes, and each plant is labeled indicating its botanical scientific name and its family. The famous botanical gardens are at Kew, England, Indian Botanical Garden, Howrah, India, and at National Botanical Research Institute, Lucknow, India. These points are very important. Please highlight these lines. 1.4.3 Museum. Biological museums are generally set up to educational institutes such as schools and colleges. Museums have collections of preserved plants and animals, specimens for study and reference. Specimens are preserved in the containers or jars in preservative solutions. Plant and animal species may also be preserved as dry specimens. Insects are preserved in insect boxes after collecting, killing, and pinning. Larger animals like birds and mammals are usually stuffed and preserved. Museums often have collections of skeletons of animals too. Zoological parks. These are the places where wild animals are kept in protected environment under human care and which enable us to learn about their food habitats and behavior. All animals in zoo are provided as far as possible the conditions similar to these to their natural habitats. Children love visiting these parks, commonly called zoos. Key. Key is another taxonomical aid used for identification of plants and animals based on the similarities and dissimilarities. The keys are based on the contrasting characters, generally in pair, called a couplet. It represents the choice made between two opposed options. This resulted in acceptance of only one and rejection of the other. Each statement in the key is called a lead. Separate taxonomic keys are required for each taxonomic category, such as family, genus, and species, for identification purpose. Keys are generally analytical in nature. Flora, manuals, monographs, and catalogs are some other means of recording descriptions. They also help in correct identification. Flora contains the actual account of habitat and distribution of plants of a given area. These provide the index to the plants species found in a particular area. Manuals are useful in providing information for identification of names of species found in an area. Monographs contain information on any one taxon. Thanks for watching the video. Please support the channel, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for more videos, and please share the video with